We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. You can see we've got Oink Oink Piggy up here. We updated the stream information. For those of you that don't know, Minneapolis is burning down. Oh, so you want to give them the background on what happened? You want me to go into that since you kind of weren't paying attention until last night, and I woke you up.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do it, because you know more about it than I do.
All right. So for those of you who aren't aware. So we want to do a politics stream today. We wanted to talk. Yeah, I know. We wanted to do a politics stream today. We wanted to talk about some. I'm so triggered right now. Like, you guys don't even know the unbelievable, inside of me, what's boiling that just occurred. But anyway, I digress. So for those of you who don't know, exposing my fucking pattern baldness on camera and shit. What's wrong with you? Anyway. There was a man in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His name was George Floyd. Okay, George Floyd. I think he was from what I could gather, from what I was looking at and researching, he was a suspect in a crime for check fraud or something like that. It may have been they stopped him, they pulled him over, or he was exiting a building, and police had detained him. Now, when they detained George Floyd, things went south rather quickly, and one of the officers who apprehended him put his knee on the man's neck, which
How the fuck would that happen?
So, when they train you to pin people down or hold them down, you put your knee on the back of someone's neck to hold. I don't personally there's no way. The one problem with this as a method to restrain someone is that you're not doing an artery choke, because in MMA and fighting you can do a choke where you're squeezing the arteries and you cut off the blood flow to the brain, you fall unconscious, but that has far less chance of killing or harming you than an air choke. So if you're cutting off the airflow and the oxygen to your brain, of course you're much more likely to die from asphyxiation. Well, that's what happened. The man died, and then he was pronounced dead later at the hospital. The people of Minneapolis, Minnesota started peacefully protesting at first, and then they devolved into riots because people are fed up. We're fed up with this shit, and this is not a problem. You generally think of Minneapolis, Minnesota like a fairly tame city. It's, I don't know. I mean, every city has problems. Every city has crime. Every city has...
Well, you don't think of it when you think of Flint or Detroit or Chicago.
Yeah, as somebody who grew up in Detroit, it's you see these problems just every day. Daily epidemic, it's places like Chicago. Generally don't think of Minneapolis, but...
That was your side.
Our piggy ear fell down. But anyway, I digress again.
We'll just leave it.
As these protests went on, things escalated. People started setting fire to Target. They started setting fire to AutoZone. I mean, it was insane. I was up till 5 a.m. watching these people riot, throwing petrol bombs, flipping stuff over, chucking bricks into buildings.
I woke up at 2 a.m. I don't think you woke me up. I think I woke up because I had to pee. And then I came out to do that. And I just saw you out here, listening to people screaming, on your phone. I was like, dude, are you alright? You just looked at me with this, fire in your eyes. You were like, they're burning down Minneapolis. And I'm like...
I mean...
And I'm 3/4 of the way asleep.
Yeah.
When he says this.
Because it was so nutty.
It was at 2:30 in the morning, and I'd already been asleep for 2 hours. And so I was 3/4 asleep, and he's like, you weren't paying attention until today. And I'm like, I didn't fucking know until, basically, I wanted to stay up and listen, but I just could not.
We were
streaming all day yesterday. We were streaming all day yesterday.
Dude, I worked for 8 hours, and then I streamed for 3 hours, and then I fucking...
So, in fairness, we had not, looked at the news. We didn't know this was happening until... shit got real ugly, and I'm up at 5 a.m. and I'm watching these fires.
I'm really glad you did that. So
me too. I mean, I'm tired as hell, but you thought, okay, it can't get past another breaking point or whatever, and it just kept fucking getting worse. Like the fire, all of South Minneapolis just started burning down. It was just utterly insane. But before we talk some more about that and the epidemic of police brutality and the response to that and the riot and what that means and what that should entail, I want to go ahead, I want to take a look at the video so everyone can see the video of what happened to George Floyd, that poor man. We're going to go to a browser source, so bear with me. Bear with the mirrors. Hopefully,
If there's some weird audio thing, tell us.
there should be sound, so. I'm not sure how much sound is in this clip particularly. Alright, so you can see here, they've got him on the ground. Look, that motherfucker, right? Look at him. Now right here, I'm going to pause it. He's saying, now if you, I don't know why we can't hear audio, but he's literally screaming, I can't breathe, get off me. I can't breathe, sir. He's saying, sir, I can't breathe. Now look, they pull him up, he was limp. He was dead. He was dead, like, on scene. They're saying that here, several times finding no pulse.
Oh my god.
Now, the people often say, "Oh, why is it always got to be about race, right?" Why?
Well, I mean, why does it have to be about race? You see, like, 4 white police officers standing over and, like, literally watching this man die. Watching their friend kill this man.
Well, let me finish.
Sorry.
They say, because I think you're going to agree with my point here.
I'm sure I will.
But the thing is, people say, why has it got to be about race all the time? And, you know, this isn't the 1950s. Like, listen, the civil rights era struggle of the 60s was only the beginning, okay? That was just the fucking beginning. We still have not cracked that nut. People, I say all the time, oh, this white guilt, and there's no more race tension in America like there was. No, fuck you. You're wrong. You are flatly wrong about that. You have not seen or experienced it.
It would be nice to think that there isn't. That's a nice story to talk about, but, like, it's not real. Like, that the people who think that racial injustices in the past are dumb as hell and need to get their reality checked, or
I mean,
they just
you see that mindset though often in conservative circles.
Yeah, like
and
I saw that.
veteran-
I have seen that exact. I've talked to those people.
And you know, we say this all the time, like we're pretty far to the left, okay? We're very far left. Like extremist militant. Hi, hello, hi, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. We are like militant leftists here in this house, okay? We're not social. I don't consider us to be social justice warriors. I don't think we're sensitive. We love savage jokes, immature humor, fucked up humor. You can joke about race, joke about whatever the fuck you want to joke about. You know, it's okay if people get upset. That bothers none of me.
But you need to know still, like, you know, we can sit here and make jokes about whoever, about like trans people or whatever. But like we know at the end of the day that they are struggling and that we need to help them.
Of course. It always goes back. Like it, I don't know. I think that's the problem that people have with the left is the sensitivity thing.
And we don't have that.
Well, there's not. It's not here.
Okay.
It's not fucking here.
It's not here. Of course, like, you know, we all have our own individual like triggers and whatever.
And we have very good gay friends. I have, you know.
I have friends that are gay.
My point to that is not to be like, oh, I got this one black friend.
I know.
My point to that,
though.
it is so funny. But my point to that is that we talk to them like about these kinds of issues, and sometimes they're more sensitive. Sometimes they can be pretty sensitive. You know, and that's fair. That's totally fine. You know, because there is the fact that like a lived bias or a lived experience and not having to deal with things on a daily basis does matter. Context always does matter. So you can't like just declare that no one can feel it. In the same way, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do what I do and say what I say, and if people get upset or offended, whatever. but you also at the same time just can't totally invalidate somebody's. You know, they're going to feel how they feel, right? So, race relations are a problem. Black people in America are proportionately disaffected by nonviolent drug offenses. They're disproportionately sentenced. They're disproportionately put in prison. They are subject to a different set of standards if they get stopped by a routine traffic stop. I mean, just in Ohio, you know, we see these reopen Ohio fucking Trump cunts, right? They're all protesting at the State House, and these motherfuckers brought guns to Dr. Acton's house in Ohio.
Did.
Right? And
so upsetting.
These white guys, right, with these rifles.
They would not have allowed them to be there.
Can you imagine if they were
weren't
black?
Wasps.
Can you imagine if that was black guys?
Every one of them
They'd be
was
dead.
Just like this big white fucking Catholic guy. Every one of them. They were awful.
Specifically Catholic, I like it. Fuck you Protestants too.
Yeah, alright, thanks.
Fucking wasps.
Oh my god.
No, I mean,
No,
what I want to know...
I just meant...
Do we have anybody else in the chat? What's our viewers at right now? I want to hear from people, what people have seen. Tell us if you've seen this. I want to know people's
It's
thoughts.
just me.
Okay. Never mind then. Well, I mean, like, so do you think... I've been seeing this debate now go on, where people are saying, why are they looting? What does that have to do? I mean, hell, you said it once.
I did. Well, I was just like honestly wondering, like, what's the point in them doing this? But like,
I think it's almost a moot point because it's like the symptom.
Is. No, yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't even really care that they're doing that.
Also,
But it is. It's like the only people they're hurting are like Mr. Target.
well, I mean, yeah,
You could
okay.
argue
They
they're
hurt small
hurting-
businesses. They hurt liquor stores. They were looting the liquor stores.
Right, and they
Local
probably
owned.
hurt like the employees that worked at that Target. But like
The one video of
it's like a separate point to the riots that were already going on and why they were happening.
the one video I saw.
Like the sun just went behind a cloud.
I know, like it gets darker when the sun goes down. That's actually really funny. But we have the door open too.
We're using like half natural light.
But basically, I saw in the one video these black guys were standing in front of a black-owned business called Urban 29 or something, I think it was. That was the only place that like wasn't touched during all this. There were some people that were getting in front of the liquor store and being like, "Fuck you," and they were fighting with people on the street, like who were breaking down the windows, throwing stuff at the people trying to protect the liquor stores, and just running out with cases of liquor. I mean, looting is a symptom of the problem. It's not.
Right.
You know, you're thinking in the wrong terms. If you look at the whole situation, you go, "Why is everyone looting? It got nothing to do."
So,
People
hey,
are just.
Let's talk about how this started as a peaceful protest, and let's talk about how it escalated, and how that
They
wasn't
also-
just the protesters that escalated it.
Oh no, absolutely not. I do have
It
one
wasn't
video
the
on my phone.
protesters.
Thank you for the follow. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Adams Miller.
So, one of the things that was also talked about was agent provocateurs, and that is a real thing. This is not some conspiracy level shit. What's that in the chat? Is it just the follow notification? This isn't conspiracy level shit. There was a guy that was all in black bloc, was carrying a black umbrella. He had like riot gear on. He had like a vest on. And I know Antifa and some other people can come geared up, but he looked like a fucking policeman. He ran into the police station after people were, questioning him. I 100% believe that they did use agent provocateurs to escalate a lethal response. I think that does happen. I think it did happen. I would be like to dig more into that, maybe find some more info or confirmation.
Yeah.
Because I always like to do that. But my instinct is to be like, of course that happens. So I think that the riots and the violent responses are a justified response of being fed up with a broken criminal justice system. And I mean, like, as we were watching it, I also was kind of saying, like, I wish they would just get to the fucking precinct. Like, petrol bomb the precinct, burn down the fucking precinct. Fuck the Target and all that other shit that was on fire. Like, burn down the fucking precinct. However, at one point they had like 16 National Guard guys up on the roof of the precinct. They had 25 more National Guard guys with rifles in front of the precinct. There was state police everywhere outside in front. People were getting really drunk at this point in the evening, in the morning. And they were starting to push back on the barricades, and they started firing rubber bullets at people. Now, for people that don't know what rubber bullet, what it is, right? This is not a little, we're not talking about a little bullet.
Airsoft.
Yeah, here. In fact, I've got one. I'll be right back.
There he goes. Thank you, everybody who's here. I don't have too much to add because I didn't get too much of a chance to look into this stuff. I was streaming earlier today and I was doing some errands.
Alright, so this is a fucking rubber bullet, okay?
That's a rubber bullet?
This is a rubber bullet.
Fucking
the
thing?
whole thing.
What the hell is this?
This was fired out of a British Army gun in Belfast when I was there during a protest.
Holy shit.
Now, what these are meant to do, when the Irish Republican guys go and protest and the army shows up and they fire these, what these are meant to do, they look a little bit different in the U.S. They got like a blue tip, but they're the same basic design and size, maybe like that. These are designed to be shot and fired at the ground. They bounce, the rubber bounces, ricochets, then hits you in the leg to like incapacitate you. What they do in England, and what they were doing at the riots in Minneapolis, they were aiming these at people's heads, the head, this thing.
That would straight up kill you.
They were aiming them at their stomachs, like people were getting cut and internal bleeding and bruising. The entire department was fucked, okay? It wasn't just the 4 guys. You know, like their whole response to everything was fucked. Not only do the 4 guys, should they be held accountable, the police chief needs held accountable, the entire department needs held accountable. You know, like, I don't know, the whole thing. Where I've been talking. What are you thinking?
No, you're fine. I don't really obviously know any more than you do, but like, you know, when we say like, you know, obviously the police need held accountable, and obviously like everywhere the police need held accountable, and like, oh, it's just a few bad apples. Well, a few bad apples do in fact spoil the bunch. So, you know, the entire department does definitely need held accountable, but then I could see the problem of like, well, then what are we going to do if we just don't have a police department? Like, you know, if you just cut off a tree, it's going to grow from the same stump.
I mean, I don't think we should not have a police department.
I know.
One thing we
but
should
then, like, where do we go from there?
stop hiring veterans. Yeah,
That
I
would be a
said
good idea.
don't fucking hire military veterans deployed in Afghanistan.
That's-
Don't hire those people.
Yeah.
They are trained for a different purpose.
They are.
Their policing over there is different. It's war. This is not war. We need community policing.
Yeah.
In Canada, they don't hire veterans there for police work.
And they shouldn't. I didn't realize that's what happened. That's awful. Oh, the veteran situation in this country is just fucked.
You know, and this is another thing that always chaps my ass. Like, in Ohio...
You fucking what?
It chaps my fucking ass. Okay?
I had never heard that one before. Sorry about that.
You've never heard chapped my
I
ass?
don't think so, no.
But these veterans and conservative people in general, they don't seem to realize that the party they support, the Republican Party, and we're not Democrats in this house, okay? We fucking loathe and hate the Democratic Party and the DNC.
It's awful.
That's not us. That's not who we are. We don't support them.
We did a bunch of Bernie stuff.
Yes, we worked on the campaign.
We really fucking tried.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know. It's
Another
exhausting.
stream. It is. It's exhausting to talk about.
But so, what I was going with this point is that they generally support Republican candidates who just fuck veterans over left and right. They cut benefits. They cut VA funding. The first thing that Republican politicians always go to is public services and works to cut costs.
Right.
In the name of smaller government. Why are they cutting the things that support us as a people, as a community? Why are they doing
They're
it?
like, you know what? We should expand the military's budget. All the fucking time they do that.
We need to demilitarize the police.
do.
We need to demilitarize our police forces.
Yeah, like my possibly unpopular opinion on like guns is that I personally don't want any. However, I want to be allowed to own anything the police can.
Well, you live in a house where you're protected by them.
Yeah, no, I live
Because
in,
I have a rifle.
I understand, and I
guns.
grew up in a very pacifist household. I'm a very like passive and non-violent person, and I'm just scared of conflict. You know, that's probably a problem for me, and I should probably want to own a gun. But I don't. But I want to be allowed to own anything the police does. Because it's not, the police does not work for us in this country. It's a constant struggle between the citizens and the police for no fucking reason.
You've got too many guys, and as someone who's worked in the police force, I have done that. I no longer do that, but you've got guys who have major macho machismo issues. And I know cops can have horrible fucking days. I had them, okay? I had those days.
That's not an excuse.
Well, and
kill a guy on the street.
no, hell no. No. What I'm saying is, like, when you get into that situation where someone's a fucking prick to you, and you're like, I just want to go home. This cunt is making the job harder. Like, you have to realize that you're in the position with the authority and the lethality that you have, where you do have to seek and get. Like, I don't think we offer them enough support mentally and everything else.
First of all, everyone should have a therapist.
Yes.
And second of all, every police officer also should have a therapist.
Dude, occupational therapy is, that's another big deal, is that we need occupational therapy.
We just don't take care of the people in this country, like, at all. We don't have fucking health care.
I mean, like, we should know, like, our local cop, like, go back to beat cops. You know, everyone should know that guy. He should be intimately involved with the community that you're policing. And you should know your people, your neighborhood, what the needs of that community are, and then you can serve them better.
I don't know any of the officers except for fucking Officer Mike.
I know a couple.
The DARE program.
The DARE program, yeah.
The DARE program.
I mean, the detective in North Canton's a fucking cunt. Detective Mance, he's a fucking prick. I hate that fucker. And he's a real stupid son of a bitch. You know, talk about a trigger-happy fuck. Officer Mance is a trigger-happy fuck. You know, that guy, I fully believe that guy is capable of just shooting somebody in a fucked up situation and totally fucking it up. And that's my opinion. I'm allowed to express that opinion, just in case anyone gets cute or sees this stream and thinks about, legal action. Yeah, isn't that fucked up?
That's yeah. Like, I
feel like you're still marveling.
That like the whole thing isn't rubber. The tip is rubber. This is metal. This is all like.
Is that somebody saying something in the chat?
Yep. Sup emoji, what's happening, bro? It's iTintin Gaming.
Oh, hi. What's up, Tintin? What's up, Tintin? We're talking about the riots in Minneapolis.
We are.
Did you, Tintin, why don't you tell me, did you get to see any of the live streams from what's going on in Minneapolis? The entire fucking south side of the city was just burning down. It was totally insane. People were throwing fire bombs. They burned down Target. They burned down AutoZone. And this is one of our politics streams. If you missed this early part of it, we're very, very far left on our political leanings. But I can speak from some experience, and obviously, we're both educated people who have opinions on this. It's like I also feel like that's another kind of non sequitur thing people try to do when anyone wants to talk about these types of societal problems. They're like, oh well, what's your authority on the topic? It's like. Well, we're a citizen of the country.
We're citizens who have to be policed by these people. Yeah, and have interactions with them. And you were on the police force, and like.
Yes, very briefly.
Thanks for explaining that. I'll watch the final bit. Watch the final bit of the stream. Cool.
Sounds good. Like I said earlier too, I think that the rioting in Minneapolis was a symptom of the problem, which is the broken, fucked up, corrupt criminal justice system. And that's something that, it's such a tiring thing to think about, to really go through and reform.
Yeah.
I mean, God, like just the prison system alone. You know, we
You
need
can
to.
take any part of it. You know, you can take any chunk of that dartboard, and it's just all fucked. It's all connected to capitalism being terrible, with prisons, and it's also like, you know, the police are paid this amount.
Our incarceration reports. The amount of black men that are put in prison versus, you know, like there's just so much to it,
like,
down to the judges. And here's another actually interesting like kind of segue thing.
Yeah.
Judges. Well, I mean cops, but like, you know, okay. How do I quantify this? We have freedom of religion in this country.
We do.
No problem. But it makes me upset and nervous that someone who has that much lethality, power, and authority, that their religious views affect their everyday life, and then they have that much power.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting in front of a judge who's what, a Christian? I mean, I
He's
experienced,
a fucking wasp.
or a Catholic. But I think my judge was Catholic in my family court.
What about the game workshops? Are they protected?
The Games Workshop stores. Wait, what? Read me that again.
It says, what about the game workshops? Question mark.
Games Workshop. I don't know about Games Workshop stores. I don't know if there's a Games Workshop in South Minneapolis. I'm not sure how near Precinct 3 that kind of stuff is. It was like a scene out of the fucking Purge, man. Like it was total fucking chaos. People were shooting. People were pulling out their pistols. They were popping, shooting guns in the air. You got another comment?
Oh, I hope they are protected.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, look.
R2D Tom.
I mean, nobody. Hey, what's up, R2D Tom? Yeah, nobody wants businesses and legitimate other smaller business owners to suffer, be a victim, you know, of these circumstances. But you know, there is business insurance, and it is property, and yes, it can affect and destroy and have impacts on your life. But there are ways to sort of recoup there. Whereas, you know, we're not getting George Floyd back. Right. There's nothing we can do about that.
We're never going to get George Floyd back. And unless we do something, you know, unless something drastic can be done, we have no guarantee that another George Floyd isn't going to be taken from us in another 6 months or less. You know, like there was just that huge string of these events that happened, like when I was in high school. I mean, just one after another, a black person was just killed, and then the city was really pissed, and then after a while, people forgot about it.
Tayshawn Williams, was that?
Yeah, that was one of them. I don't remember all their names.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Where does the buck stop? What do you do? And we talked a little bit about possibly doing like a solidarity march, social distancing, of course, with masks and things in Canton. I think that'd be cool to do. Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
So maybe we can make signs for that. That'll be like our next sign project.
Yeah. We'll do that right fucking
no
now.
Justice, no peace. You know, we'll get all them signs made up and get going.
Yeah.
And we will actually live. If we do that, I will live stream that mobily so that you guys can see us congregating, and maybe we will do a march down Market Street. We could go down Market, past the library, past the churches, past through all. We could go to the precinct downtown. We got a new comment.
An emoji, and then Dan said, "Hell yeah."
Oh, hell yes. Dan, have you seen any of the footage?
We just played the footage a little bit ago.
We did.
We can play it again.
This
is a rubber bullet. I've been holding this.
So yeah, I was
Nate
explaining.
brought this out a little bit ago.
I was explaining this to her. This is fired at a demonstration in Belfast in Ireland. When I was there, I got this. So people were. I mean, the Irish protest. Like this is what they do. But they there was a demonstration. They were trying to take away teaching Irish language in schools, and when they show up, they fire these things out of tubes, and they're similar to this here. And that what's supposed to happen is that they ricochet off the street, like boom, and then they hit you, and then they just incapacitate you. But that's not what they do. They aim them at your fucking head, and like if you're hit in the head, your chances of death are pretty fucking high with that.
I mean, like, get hit with anything hard in the temple and you're fucking out.
There was a guy in Belfast that got hit right in the heart. He died instantly from this exact one, like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Take away speaking Irish in Ireland. Jeez.
Yeah, it was a protest at the Cultural On, and it was really funny. It was so I land in Dublin Airport. I get off the plane. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm emotional, ancient homeland and whatever. And I have my first breakfast. And it's so funny because you get off the plane in Dublin and you go to like the restaurant to get a breakfast sandwich. Like there's sausages and stuff. It's different. Like it's not processed shit. It's like just nice actual meat. And you're like, well, I'm not in Kansas anymore. Like it's nuts how that happens. It's just like so non-American, So I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying my breakfast sandwich, my coffee. And Tommy and his dad, they come to pick me up. And I meet his parents, and then his mother's like, so there's a protest at the Cultural On. I'm like, what? Huh? What? Like, not 15 minutes after I'm off the fucking wheels down on the tarmac. I'm getting ready to go to a protest in fucking Belfast.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was just, right from the get-go, it was just, boom, right in there.
Yeah.
But we don't have that kind of same mentality in America, where we get real upset and we have constant demonstrations. It always
Have you guys played Warhammer?
is D20 asking that.
R2D
Tom.
And then another person says, I try to stay away from protests. Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, riots. That's
Listen,
valid.
Yeah, I don't, because I love confrontation. Like I'm ready to fucking fight all the time, but
I enjoy it. Anything that I've gone,
I think you've changed.
I have.
It's so funny. We were just talking about this in the ar earlier. Like since she is like moved in and like her life has changed radically. Like her stance and number one, I think I've made her meaner. But because it's so true, and I fucking love every second of it. But number two, you've just. I think you've been even a little more radicalized, in that regard.
Yeah. I went
baby
to
steps,
we
right?
went to a demonstration. There were only 4 people there. That spooked me. I was super spooked to go and be one of a really small group of people holding up signs.
Holding up the signs at the hospital.
Hospital, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you've never done that before,
All right,
it's an
thanks for the
intimidating
chat. I'm gonna
experience.
go watch a Warhammer stream.
All right, well, you enjoy your Warhammer
Peace out
stream.
then,
We have
bud.
not played Warhammer yet, by the way.
We haven't done that
I
on
might
this channel. No.
try to teach her at some point. She's making a face. She told me that.
No, I would.
She told
I'd
me.
try.
She told me she thought BattleTech was too neck-bearding for her.
I didn't like BattleTech.
Ah, fucking hell! I love BattleTech.
There were 2 full paragraphs in that book about how your guy stands still. It wasn't about moving. It wasn't about. It was just the mechanics of standing still. Warhammer does slam, but it happens.
Yeah.
We'll fucking see.
I think if we got into it, just it's a slow thing. We get into it slowly, and.
But
anyways, back to the topic at hand. Yeah. Sorry, I got a lot of gamer friends.
I don't know. You're fine.
This is how.
Yes, it slaps.
This is how we cope with the world burning around us in fucking ashes.
There is some heavy politics in the Warhammer universe, though.
There are.
Yeah, I believe you. I'm not sure I care.
There's, what it is? There's a lot of right-wing people in the wargaming community, and it's an interesting kind of thought point because I think that these people.
You know what? Neither do I, really.
I think the reason there's so many right-wingers that are wargamers is that these are people who normally think and operate based on logic and then not with emotion.
They just, oh my goodness, these fucking centrists. They just think they're the most logical pieces of shit that this earth has ever seen.
They have no balance. It's
they have no balance. Okay.
They're not emotional at all.
It's the fallacy of the golden mean, honestly. Okay, if you have far left and far right, it's neither extreme is the best thing. Well, okay, I'll take that sometimes, sure. But what's also not the best is the exact middle. You can't just say they're both acting like children, just pick the lesser 2 evils, don't vote third party.
You don't even have to be a centrist.
If you're a centrist, you can go fuck yourself with the pine cones.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
In your eye sockets.
In your eye socket.
In your eye socket.
She's getting more extreme than me right now.
That's
a fucking first.
I fucking hate
I mean, like, you don't even have to be a centrist to just think
to have
with
these
both.
awful fucking opinions.
No, to think with just emotion and logic. You know, that doesn't have to make you centrist. You can still be far left. You can even be. Hell, I have talked to like a few reasonable conservative folks. It's just like every time we get into these long drawn out debates about police, about societal problems, about social issues, it's just like your opinions are so bad and not based on facts that like we can't even start, you know, like the conversation can't. Where do you even fucking start with this conversation?
Yeah.
That's the frustration that I find with it. But I think that I don't know what's going to happen now. The mayor came out and made a statement today about Minnesota.
The four cops need
arrested. He said that. He actually said that immediately. He was like, yeah, he didn't miss a beat. He was like, go arrest that guy. It was murder.
Good.
He
fucking was. You saw him just hold his neck down. Like, he was just watching this guy die.
Yeah.
It was
100%.
awful. And so were his fucking 3 buddies there. It's like, huh?
If someone says, I mean, this was real telling because the audio wasn't working there, but when someone's like, he's not resisting arrest, he's on the ground saying, sir, I can't breathe. And to have the composure in that moment to try and be polite to the person who has your fucking face in the pavement and his knee on your throat, and you're like, sir, I can't breathe, and not going, get off me, you fucking piece of shit pig. Like,
because that's what you do.
Yeah, like I'd be if I was. Let's be honest. If I was black, I would have been dead probably years ago. I mean, and I've had run-ins before with the cops when I was young. I thought a smart comment was going to come from that, but you're missing the beat.
Thought I'd just let you go.
I was talking shit about how mean I made you, and
yep.
You know.
Yep. Is that its own act of being mean?
I mean. I'm waiting for every zinger. But yeah, no, I don't know what's going to happen. The mayor made a statement. Most of the mayor's sentiments and what he was saying today, it was very kind of platitudey, though. You know, we got to get through this and la-di-da-di-da.
With the pandemic, and we need to stick together. And like,
yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, everything he was said, it was basically can be summed up as duh. Thanks, man. Like. Cool. Thanks for telling us.
I'm so glad though. No ownership at all. Fair. Yeah. But I'm real. Well, there at least was the ownership of these guys need arrested now.
Yeah.
Which was really nice.
Well, what I would have wished that he talked about was, again, going after the hierarchy of the department and of the administration. You know,
because the person who hired those guys should be fired too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like every police department in probably every major city needs probably a massive enema. Okay. However, you know, like I don't know that he was critical enough of the administrative officials in that sense, and I don't know if maybe that's just calculated local politics decisions or what the fuck was going through his head. But that's probably the only criticism I would have of how the mayor responded thus far. I'm curious to see now, not just like how they're going to be doing cleanup or, you know, getting things more under control today in the city, but I'm curious to see if we're going to see the same shit going on and happening tonight. You know, are we going to see the same, like, are they going to go back to are the mobs going to regather, regroup, march again, and then go back to Precinct 3, which is where the guys are from that did this? Or are we going to see like a larger contingent of mobilized National Guard? Because, you know, the National Guard was called in, so, you know, what's that going to look like? Are they going to, if it gets worse, does this mean that they declare martial law in Minneapolis? I mean, it was like watching something out of the Harley fucking Quinn cartoon where Gotham just goes to shit. That's what it looked like. It was totally fucking insane. And my buddy Ryan was like, he was like, when I was sharing these streams, people were coming into the stream. They were like, "Are you guys there? Be safe." And Ryan goes, "Not yet." And he was like ready to come over and get me and go on a car ride to Minneapolis. I would have done it. I would have did it. My mother would have freaked the fuck out. Oh my god, dude, I can't even imagine. She'd have been like, "What are you
How
doing?"
long's the car ride from here to Minneapolis, you know?
Like 15 hours or something.
Oh, that's too many.
It's a
That's
lot of
too
hours.
far.
It's a lot of hours.
Be careful if you're going to document this.
Yeah, always. I mean, I've been in the middle of some really hairy fucking shit, okay? Like, I was in an Irish Republican bar in Belfast. This was like right when Trump was gearing up to run for president. And this guy in the bar, something you got to know about the Irish, okay? They always talk like they know everything about the world. And this guy was, Donald fucking Trump, you know, he's going to be the good, best thing for America. And I'm over here and I'm drinking. And I'm like, shut your fucking mouth, you stupid cunt. You don't know shit. Why don't you suck a big, fat, black fucking cock, you know? And I'm just like, that's what I said to him. And it turns out that this was Dermot Ryan, head of the real Republican Irish Army faction splinter group. And I didn't end up in a basement cut into pieces by some miracle. And, you know, he was laughing. He's like, this guy's all right, you know. But that's how it is over there. I mean, you talk shit and you get in fights and then you move on with your day. It's very opposite of what we do in this country, where people are ready to fucking shoot each other immediately. In Ireland, you can have a fist fight or bar fight and be good, best buddies the next fucking day. I think like there's a part of that culture I would like to see implemented among American culture where we can just have it the fuck out. I think that like men would be, I honest to God think that men would be less problematic in a lot of situations if we could just like do that without, you know, always escalating to like weapons or gang warfare. You know, just have it the fuck out right there, right then and there, and be done with it. But yeah, so also when I was in Greece, there was an anarchy protest in the Heraklion Square, and they were marching through the square with all these signs and protesting and getting real rowdy, and like Vice News, I just jumped right in there. I was like, they're gonna be my best fucking friends, you know. I got my phone out. I'm like, I'm in the middle of an anarchy protest in Heraklion. You know, I've been in the middle of really hairy shit and been fine. So I don't know. I feel like I've been in situations enough like that like I can kind of gauge my way around it, and like you're hyper aware and you know what you're looking for and things like that. But you know, there's always things. Also, I've had training like how to fight, and you know, so that's another thing. Like I'm generally reasonably confident that there are a decent number of humans that if they come at me, I can like deal with that. Obviously, you know, I can get my ass kicked by a lot or most of them as well. But I mean, there's just certain aspects, you know, you have to be wary of and know your limits and capability and all those kind of things, and be aware of your environment surroundings. And it's one thing that police actually always used to talk about is they would just be dumbfounded by people that just like walk around with headphones in their ears constantly because they're just situationally like not aware.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you've got like headphones in and you're blocking out sound, it's like you get kind of tunnel vision, you know. You're not like paying attention to your periphery and things of that nature. But I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens going forward with the city itself. What the groups of people there tend to do today. I think that I have been looking all fucking day long for a live stream video or a live feed where there are crowds out protesting or marching today. Can't find them, and on Facebook last. I don't think I told you this. They were shutting. Facebook was actively cutting people's feeds off.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I mean, you know, fucking police state USA,
Honestly,
piggy oink oinks.
Yeah.
Like they're just cutting people's feed.
It's capitalism and racism.
Oh, and there we go. There's the piggies going. Fuck it.
It's capitalism and racism are like the two like grounding factors in all of this bullshit, and there's just like very little we can do about it.
I don't know about that. I don't know that
It feels like there's very little we can do about it. We fucking tried with Bernie. We tried so hard.
And what separates us from conservative viewpoints and things is that the thing about Bernie is like we're not sycophants. Like the thing with Bernie, when he eventually kowtowed and he eventually bowed down to Joe Biden, and
We were pissed.
well, we were so pissed it was unbelievable. But when he finally
Should
pulled,
have passed me where's the tape?
I think you put it over there.
Did I?
Oh, it's right next to you.
Sorry, can I have this?
You silly goose. Yeah.
I'm wearing pajamas.
Why'd you qualify that? These are her streamer shorts.
They are not my streamer shorts.
No, they're actually not. She does have a legit pair that she calls her streamer shorts, and these aren't them. Okay. No, when Bernie kowtowed and came out to endorse Joe Biden, we criticized the hell out of him.
We did.
Now,
yeah, a lot of people were like.
Yeah, we did not have that. Yeah, God, that's always the fucking thing about the far left. We've got no allies. Okay, we got we don't even have we fight amongst ourselves. The left eats itself. Like, it happens all the time. The DNC, we don't have anyone on our fucking side, man. It's just ridiculous. It's always like, we don't have a political voice. We don't have a party. We don't have that movement. And when
The best we had was Bernie.
and
now he's part of the DNC.
right, and a lot of people are making this move and shift toward Green Party stuff, which I've seen that before. I saw that after John Kerry. I saw that after Al Gore, which was my first election I could vote in, which was super disappointing. But you've seen shifts like that before, and history has told us that doesn't necessarily work. I don't know. We're living in such a crazy fucking timeline. We're in the worst timeline, so who knows what's going to happen or what could happen. Yeah, sure. So who knows what could happen. But
We are in the worst timeline.
we really are. I mean, it is just... but anyway, we're not sycophants. It separates us from the Donald Trump sycophants and everybody else and the right-wing guys, because they will never fucking criticize once they back someone, that's it. That person, like Donald said himself, he literally said this, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they would still support me. And they would.
They would.
If we're crucifying our guy for endorsing a neoliberal cunt who's probably a rapist, and we're hanging him by his thumbs.
See how he smells girls' hair? He's
That's such a creepy thing to do. Such a fucking weird. Everything about him is just you need to take a goddamn shower.
I know, it's awful. Okay, does that at least fix his mouth?
Yeah, it does.
Give me one more, please.
I don't know why I'm having trouble cutting this. I didn't.
Because those scissors are shit.
I think I bought these at the dollar store.
Well, I think they just need goo on, is all.
Oh, they got goo on them. Yeah. There you go. I think there was a chat comment. Hold on. Blue Lives Matter says, "I like your girl legs."
Oh, hey, how about...
Oh, what's up?
How about fuck?
What's up, Blue Lives Matter? Nice comment to ring off the stream with your name.
Yeah, cool.
We're glad to have you in the chat. So, what do you think about this situation, you fucking prick? I need more alcohol.
Matter and they should all be eradicated.
I need more alcohol for this shit. All right, let's see what this troll has to say.
Yeah, go for it, bud.
Talking more shit.
Nothing yet. He just said hi. I am a girl that has girl legs. Yee. Well, I would have left this channel if not for her legs.
Yeah, well, if you like the content, hey, look, that at least I know it's working. You know? At least we know sex sells.
Thanks for following.
Oh yeah, Blue Lives Matter. We appreciate it. Hey, were you here for the part?
Shitbag, go fuck yourself.
She's done with you. I'm not though. So were you here when we? She's written you off as a fucking cunt. Were you here when we said we're far left, but we're not social justice warriors?
I just joined 36. Yeah, yep.
Because we're really not. Light me up. We're
How can
really
you be far left and not an SJW?
That's a great question. Let me
Let's
answer
talk
it.
about it.
Because I believe you can make jokes about trans people. I think you can make jokes about the Holocaust. I think you can make jokes about race. I don't give a fuck. I think all that shit's funny. Okay? None of that bothers me. I'm not a sensitive motherfucking prick.
But
okay?
we do believe, like, sex work is real work, and
sure.
trans people need rights, and gay people should be get married, and
right.
marijuana should be legal.
If you're a conservative, you have the cuntiest opinions. Like,
honestly.
There's no other way of putting it, right? Like, yes, there are people on the left that are too fucking sensitive, little annoying pricks, okay? And they try to cancel people and, like, get people's jobs taken away.
And that's not...
I don't support that shit.
Yeah. I think sex work is degenerate, but I think you should have the freedom to do it. Okay, well, it doesn't matter if anyone who cares if you think it's degenerate?
Why
it should be legal.
Why the fuck do people even have that opinion? To me, it's a stupid fucking opinion.
It is. Like,
how is it degenerate? Human beings love sex. Okay?
If you actually thought that people should have the freedom to do it, then you wouldn't have started that with, well, I think it's degenerate, but I guess people should have the freedom to do it. No, they should have the freedom to do whatever the fuck they want. They should have the freedom to get the health care they need, the tests, the fucking STD tests, and they should get their clients tested.
Sex work is degenerate.
They should get bodyguards if they want it.
Yeah.
You're fucking degenerate. Piece of shit.
She's totally written you off, and it's so funny to me. I want to hear fucking...
You have the freedom to do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt others. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, but here's my problem, right? Because people like you...
ruin their private property. Sure.
But here's the thing. People like you will have this opinion where sex work's degenerate, and then they'll get in a position like a judge or a cop.
Right.
And that bias will affect how they fucking operate on a day-to-day basis, right?
It will. And so you'll be a judge, and you'll be trying to help this poor prostitute who was mugged, and you're like, well, you're a prostitute. You're not worth anything anyways. So
sex work's not degenerate, okay?
Everybody
fucks.
Everybody fucks.
Gay, straight.
Yep.
You're all packing your dicks into a tight, warm little space till you feel like you're God. All right?
It's all the same.
There's no afterlife. There's no God. When you die, that's it. You should try to experience as much stuff.
I'm very based in my ability to stand behind what I believe. All right, are you one of those fucking centrist cunts?
Fuck it. No. He said based. That's an alt-right thing. Based. They always say that. Based. I'm based. Based stick man. All that kind of shit.
Whoa, I'm not familiar with that one.
Look, I'm very based when it stands. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, no one really gives a fuck. Believe whatever the fuck you want. But it is stupid. It's stupid as fuck to say that sex work is degeneracy. That's just insane to me.
So are you authoritarian lefty or crazy anarchist? Crazy anarchist.
Crazy anarchist for sure.
Yeah.
Not authoritarian left. Like, I don't... All authoritarianism to me is fucking cancer.
It might as well just be the same thing we have right now with Donald Trump and the fascism, in my mind. Like, authoritarian and what we have right now is, like, in my mind, the same.
I mean, we're like a authoritarian republic that... You see, here's the thing, right? I'm a libertarian leftist, but I'm the correct kind of libertarian, which is the leftist libertarian. Okay.
Communism never works without force. So good luck with anarchism.
Didn't say a thing about communism. You know, we could even have fucking capitalism. We could have.
Why does everyone always bring up communism, and then why do you also have to bring up force?
It's so dumb.
You're the one that's talking about doing this.
No one's talking about communism. Bernie didn't want communism. He
never wanted communism.
He didn't want to abolish capitalism.
He didn't even really want socialism.
He didn't. He was a social democrat. That's what he was.
Yeah.
And when they said democratic socialists,
ANCOMS.
Anarchist communists is what he's talking about, or ANCOMs. I maintain that anarchist capitalists don't exist. Even though I often say we don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater with capitalism, I would never be like, oh, I'm an ANCAP. I think that's fucking retarded. Yeah. Like, I think capitalism is inherently predatory. I mean, it is like all of the same problems you have with the ideology of communism. You've got with fucking there's a fucking laundry list of predatory capitalist problems with that societal method. But I think that as a society we can still have a reasonably better functioning society that has elements of free market capitalism, such as cars and competition among companies.
Is capitalism not predatory?
I just spilled my fucking drink.
You just spilled your...
That's like
You can go fuck yourself,
I need to walk away.
You are actualizing your potential. No, because everything that humans do doesn't have to be measured in dollars. Everything humans do doesn't have to be measured in dollars and cents. That's what you're arguing here, is that through capitalism. Oh, okay, we got someone new, says people can do or be whatever they want, but don't use my federal dollars for any of it. Cool.
Don't use my federal dollars. Okay, why not?
Yeah, why fucking not?
Why
All right.
not? Why not?
Yeah, why can't we have fucking like EMTs and roads
Right.
and like okay,
I've
talked to some like I've seen
takes care of its citizens.
I've seen some libertarians that are like, oh, we need to have the roads privately owned. It's like, no, that's dumb as hell.
The roads privately owned.
I know, I'm like, no, that's dumb as hell. Like, okay, there's obviously really bad things. You know, there's obviously some merits of, I think private roads are dumb. Fucking good, great. So, like, there's obviously some good things about libertarianism.
All right,
but, like, you need to...
Leftist libertarianism.
Leftist libertarianism, fine, jeez. You want to minimize the government as much as possible. I don't know about that, because we need health care. And it's not even that, like... we have the resources to do it. Why would we not? It's cheaper to have universal health care. The government is fascist, yet you argue for government. You can buy health care. If you have money with capitalism, you can't.
You say that you're for smaller government. That's a fucking lie and a misnomer.
It is.
Because you're for smaller government until it comes to the fucking military, until it comes to an overinflated military budget. You're for smaller government until it comes to lobbyists buying off politicians, Senate politicians, and then those politicians being beholden to those lobbyists and those private-owned groups, so that they get away with further deregulations. I mean, it's a okay. Let's take a good example. I can't see the chat right now, but I will look at your comment here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and talk for a minute about. Let's take the example of the free market capitalist in the context of Apple computers, right? Let's talk about Apple computers. So, Apple computers had, for years, been consistently one of the highest earning companies, if not the highest earning company in the United States of America. Apple computers commits tax evasion on a grand scale, legal tax evasion, by having offshore tax havens. They are not contributing to society. They are literally a corporate welfare leech. And this is a symptom of unfettered, free market, unregulated capitalism. This is it's literally a poisoned well. You can't, there's no way that you think that private company is good in any way, shape, or form, that they can then have influence upon local politics or national politics, and that'll be a good thing just to benefit them in the long term. You cannot reasonably sit there and then argue that position to me and think that you actually believe that if you call yourself a libertarian. That's just not, you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with us or yourself if you believe that. I can't see the chat. I need to... Hang on, I'll respond to what you're saying here. 1 second.
Just a second. I'm getting the chat back up.
Because I do actually have it on screen, but I can't see without my fucking glasses.
It's coming.
All right,
So
all right.
if you said something, send it again. Sorry.
Oh, is it going to wipe?
Yeah, I wiped.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Yeah, all right. Repeat what you said. I'm listening. She's cleaning up for him. Oh, that's really funny. No.
Oh,
Actually,
why don't you go fuck yourself?
that is incorrect. She was getting a water. This is a very equal opportunity, messy environment. Okay, very equal opportunity, messy environment. Oh, I'm so glad we could get the right wingers in here. It is fucking brilliant.
I think by cleaning up, I think he just went when you stepped away and I started.
That is a small government. The primary role of the government is to protect property, aka the military, not for massive... Okay, first of all, that's fucking incorrect. That's incorrect. I don't know what... How old are you? Because that will tell us an awful fucking lot here. What about LBJ? What about the New Deal? What about fucking 20s? Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. You don't, look, I say this often, but like when you're in your 20s, you don't know jack shit about the world, right? Even if you've been in the military and traveled, you still haven't like traveled, lived anywhere, experienced shit. You haven't done anything. Okay? The government, literally a government's role is to take care of and protect its citizens. Flat out. No, the New Deal was not an overreach by the government. The New Deal was designed to put things back into place to rebuild our nation. That's what made America actually make America into a great nation. This nation was built on the backs of hardworking immigrants that believed in, albeit, I believe, false, capitalist ideals. And they sold them the American dream, but it was built on the backs of these immigrants. It was built on the back of social reform. It was built on the back of social reform. No, America was not built in the late 1800s and late 1900s. No. First of all, America was never a superpower long before then. America is late to the empire game, okay? America can never be an empire because America is late to the empire game. So, no, yes. I said, what about LBJ and what about the New Deal? Those were two points that I was bringing up, by the way. America was the best by 1900. This fucking kid. Oh my god, this fucking kid is nuts. Tremendous. It was huge. People were dying of fucking disease. We had children working in factories. It was fucking brilliant. Okay, so you're all for small government and you're all for big privatization, right? So why in your mind do you think that these private companies have any kind of like your best interest in mind? Like, where does that fucking come from?
Here, take this.
We have the greatest industrial capacity. Look, I think it's bad that we don't make things in America anymore. But do you know who made it so that that's a thing? Who in this country, as political leaders, made it so it's a thing that we don't produce anything here anymore? Free market, unfettered, unregulated capitalist made that happen. If we had regulated capitalism, if we had a strongly regulated, well-regulated capitalist industry, then
Bill Clinton, NAFTA.
Oh fucking look! I don't like Bill Clinton. Okay, I don't fucking.
Nobody likes Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, we're not Democrats. This is what you're failing to understand. You keep equating us to like that we think the DNC like has all the answers. Okay, we don't. Yeah, I got it on my phone. The DNC doesn't have all the fucking answers. We don't believe that these guys, these politicians, Trump is protectionist. Trump is a lot of things.
Trump is a fucking shitbag.
Trump is a lot of things. Trump is just a fucking idiot. I mean, he's a figurehead idiot. Like Trump doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, Trump doesn't matter at all. Trump doesn't matter like at all.
I'm gonna sit down for a bit.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you trying to say tits? Because this chat's not censored. And I promise you, you can't offend her. She would roast your ass. Trump derangement syndrome. Well, Trump is deranged. I mean, he's a Looney Tune. Joe Biden might be a rapist, and
derangement syndrome.
well, I mean, Bill Clinton was a fucking rapist too. But Joe Biden might be a rapist that has like mental problems, but Trump is totally fucked. He's got the same fucking mental slippage like Joe Biden's got. Like, I don't know why anyone is the Trump guys are so fucking loyal to Donald Trump, because he doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't give a flying fuck about you or your welfare or your values or the freedoms you believe in. That guy doesn't give a shit. He's a global elitist. I can smash all of you. I can smash all of you conservatives who support Trump with one fucking statement. You know what it is? He criticized Hillary Clinton for being involved with Goldman Sachs and having those people involved in her campaign and her political inner sphere. Literally, right after he got elected, the same Goldman Sachs, not all of them, but some of the same Goldman Sachs representatives were immediately in his political inner sphere. He's a fucking globalist elite. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. The elite love Trump. Trump is the elite, you dipshit pickle. The man shits on gold toilets. He manipulates he manipulates unregulated capitalist systems to fucking leech off society, leech off the poor. Like, he's a fucking nonce. Hey, what's up? Catch my load. There's another fucking troll in the chat. No, he's not a man of the people, and you're a fucking idiot if you believe that. Like, you're literally just... There's no hope for you. If you honestly believe Trump is a man of the people, you're a fucking moron. Like, you're irrevocably stupid. There's no saving you. There's no arguing at that point. The discussion's done. Like, it's a moot point if you actually believe that. He gives farmers subsidies. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck off. You are so dumb. And he sent me a check for $1,200. Okay, I'm convinced this guy's just a troll. Straight up troll. So fucking funny. No president has ever done that. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Okay, catch my load. Why do you think they shouldn't have rioted? Let's move on to you. I'm done with that fucking jack off. Why? Because I have a Guy Fawkes shirt? Maybe I just really like history. Why has it got to be that? Okay, so Catch My Load says, I don't think they should have rioted because now you have a possibility to put more black employees out of a job. Also, because you know it is and you look like a hacker nerd. I am in IT. I mean, what? So what? So what? So what if I dabble with computers? Like, what does it fucking bother you? Fucking retard. Oh my god. I mean, I'm clearly a bigger nerd than you because I'm clearly more educated, apparently. Spouting that bullshit you're talking about in here with the 1900s. Okay, so, and you shouldn't destroy our community. All right, so let's talk about those, right? And you're saying there could have been much better ways to go about this. Did illegal shit. There could have been, yeah. Okay, all right. Catch my load. Thank you for your opinion. All right, let's talk about it. So he's saying they shouldn't have rioted. There were better ways to go about this. They should not have destroyed their own community. Well, if you weren't here for the first part of this when we were talking about it, the rioting is not the crux of the issue, right? The reason I say this is that it's sort of a moot point because with the rioters, the rioting is a symptom of the problem, okay? They didn't start out with a fucking riot. These protests started out peacefully, but also people are fed up to the point of police fucking brutality. Now, this is something where leftist libertarians and right-leaning libertarians can agree on. We do not like authoritarian control of the people. And the cops have overextended that authority multiple times, regardless of race, against whites, against blacks, against the poor. They have overextended their authority. And generally, I can get right-leaning libertarians to agree with me that cops have overextended their authority. We shouldn't have militarized police. And that's a topic that everyone can get on board with. And we can all agree that it shouldn't exist. Ta-da. All right, so hopefully you're at that point and can agree with me on that point. Now, moving on about the rioting itself. The rioting being a symptom of that problem. The rioting being an extension of the problem of race relations, of police brutality. When that kind of fucking chaos goes off, there's not really much at that point that's reversing this situation, okay? It's a chaotic, hectic, hellish, fucked up situation. You've got people in poor communities, less educated people. You have people who are getting drunk, people who are pissed off. It's an unpredictable situation and scenario. No one reasonably would make the argument that destroying random small businesses is like good and beneficial. However, the argument can be made that people will be pushed to a breaking point in which they will get to the point where the populace and the proletariat is so fed up with a broke down criminal justice system that their people get pushed to the point of violent escalation. and this is like we kind of talked about this in the context of like other countries and how they view the government overstepping their bounds, or the police or the authorities overstepping their bounds. I mean, they in lots of other countries or European countries, they're very quick to put those authority figures to the test. But those authority figures and police figures also aren't armed like they're the fucking military. So, you've got people spitting and like throwing bottles and bricks at people who vastly outarm them. In some situations, outnumber them. I mean, that wasn't the case that we saw last night with the riots. Small businesses are much more of a cornerstone community than a corporate chain. Oh yeah, absolutely they are. Absolutely. Now, CQ or GQ 111, I would like to point out that when I was watching the riots on the live Facebook live streams last night, up super late, so there was one guy that jumped in front of people who were throwing bricks into this liquor store, and they were running out with like boxes of liquor and like beer and all this shit. He's like, "You motherfuckers aren't getting in here today. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to defend this." There were community members that were standing up, defending and standing in front of and defending local businesses. You're going to have people in a riot situation that are going to try to take advantage of the chaos, that are lower income, less educated folks, and they're going to be a party to the fucking chaos. They're going to start and roll with it, and they're going to take advantage of it, and that is a human condition. Okay, it's like you're almost making it too nuanced. The real argument, the real crux of the argument is those fucking cops murdered George Floyd. They murdered George Floyd. They got everything. They deserved everything they got. They should have burned down the fucking precinct. They should have, like, any of those cops that were standing by that, the mayor should have blanket statement said that we're going to go after the police chief, we're going to go after the administration, we're going to go after everybody. All of them need to be held accountable. Flat, period, end of story. Oh, am I echoing? I did not know I was echoing. Let me look at my sound. There might be a double mic feed input, so let me check real quick. Yep. I got it. There we go. Echo should be done now. Sorry about the echo. Sometimes it occurs when we do like the shift scene change, because we played the video earlier where they had George Floyd in the street. So I apologize for the echo. My bad. Girl or riot? No, you just want her back on game because you want to see Tiggle Bitties. Maybe we do live in an abandoned house. You don't know. No, I'm not using the laptop mic. I have it, I believe I've got it on the Yeti. Let me double check that, though. Yeah, no, it's on the Yeti. I'll adjust the gain a little bit. Sometimes the cardioid sounds a little bit funky on this too. First of all, the victims, I mean, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen about the bill, whatever bill from damages from the riots. Hopefully, these people, have insurance companies that are going to pay them out for damages incurred and property loss. That's generally how insurance works. Oftentimes it's like a state law to have that insurance for your business. I don't know what the aftermath of that's going to be. It's sad. It sucks that people lose and have their private property destroyed in these situations. But the overarching point is that it's a symptom of a larger problem. That's the main point that I'm making. I'm not even gonna answer that because that's just a fucking you're a dipshit. All right, I'm banned on that fucking cunt. like you know, it's my stream. Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. You say too many stupid fucking things in a row, you're just gone. But like, it's not like I'm unwilling to have a conversation. Like, I was addressing him and like these points that he was trying to make. But if you're just going to be like a completely stupid fuck, where you're not even making valid points, there's no point in arguing. I mean, it's like you might as well just argue with a fucking wall. Like, why are we even having this debate? Okay, well, first of all, so GQ111, you said people were being murdered in the streets with impunity. That is not correct. I don't know what you mean people being murdered in the streets with impunity. There was one death reported that we don't know whether this was citizen on citizen. People were firing guns. I was watching them fire the guns on the riots on live stream. Pretty fucking reckless and irresponsible. But it's a riot, so is that really a surprise? I mean, what the fuck? Oh, police murdering people. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Of course I'm not as concerned with property as I would be with police murdering people with impunity. As no, none of us should. Even though I'm a far fucking leftist libertarian, as a libertarian leftist, that's something we should agree upon. You should be on the same page with us, man. We should be out in the streets marching to that same fucking drum. You should be sickened that the police are murdering people with impunity. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. That man, right? So we watched the video of George Floyd where they pulled him over and they got him on the ground. The guy had his knee on his back or on his throat, like back of his neck or whatever. He was choking him. It was an air choke. It wasn't like an MMA fucking cardioid blood choke. It was an air choke with his knee. And the guy, is like pressed on the fucking pavement, and he's looking at. He's like, "Sir, I can't breathe." He wasn't resisting. He kept saying, "Sir, I can't breathe." Like, that should piss people off to the point where, like, people are going to go, "Oh, don't rebel against the cops." No, fuck that. Like, how much more, like, are you going to take as the people, right? How much more of that kind of bullshit are you going to take before it becomes too much? What do? Heavy-fisted. So where are you from, heavy-fisted? 3 people killed by police in the past few years. No protests or killings. Where are you from? I don't know. If you guys, I know there's probably a bunch in here that like don't agree with things I'm saying or our politics, which is fine. But if you're mildly entertained, smash that follow button. Toss us the Amazon Prime sub. Fuck, I'm an asshole. I appreciate you, GQ111. Huntsville. Okay, Alabama. Yeah, look, I don't know that were any of those like major national news? Because I don't know that I've looked into specifically those particular incidents or heard anything about them. But it's okay. It's fucked that this can happen in towns, communities, smaller communities, or cities where it goes unreported and there's no response. Like, why does it? My thing mainly, I guess, is like, why does it have to get to the buildup, right? Why do we have to wait for this to happen so many fucking times before we're fed up enough that the people just say, that is enough? We're going to march in the street. We're going to protest, and then it's almost kind of natural for things to just like let things escalate at that point. Someone's going to escalate. It's either going to be the civilians and the protesters, and it's going to be an agent provocateur, or it's going to be directly from the police by shooting tear gas and rubber bullets. Like, again, where's my fucking rubber bullet, right? This is, I don't know if you guys were here for this part either, but I'm going to reach over for this. So this is a rubber bullet, okay? This was fired from an English tube from the British Army in Belfast when I was in Belfast. They're designed to hit the pavement, ricochet, and then hit you so that they incapacitate you in a riot control situation. The cops were aiming these at people's heads. The British do it too. They're aiming them at your heart, and that will your chances of death. Like I said, they're very high when that happens. Like they're still even when shit has just hit the fan, they're still in that mindset. Like we're just gonna fucking murder people, and this isn't a problem. Like they shouldn't press the advance. They should have burned. Like I said, they should have thrown Molotov cocktails in the goddamn precinct at that point. I was hoping I was going to see the precinct burn down, to be honest with you. Yes, yeah, the pandemic is 100% also a factor there. That's actually brings up an interesting point. One of the things that I saw protesters doing was, like, I don't know, it was kind of some weird, like, bio warfare. They were, like, spitting on the cops. They were blowing their cigarette smoke at them. They were like, I've seen in like Ireland when the British Army rolls in illegally and they try to start shit in Belfast. A lot of times what kids will do, like they'll fill up bags of peel, be like, you fucking cunts, and they'll throw bags of piss at them. I don't know that I saw any of that, but I think people were like doing shit like that on the stream last night. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. I think COVID cases are going to skyrocket anyway. I mean, we're like in the state we live in, I think we're opening up way too fucking early. It sucks. Like, the economy impact, the economic impact, all this stuff. It's just like, we weren't totally prepared for it. And like, we have to do this in a sane, safe way. No, I'm not thrilled. Like, no one's thrilled about it. I just don't understand these like protesters to open shit up so early. Like, it's a real disease. Like, even the people the batshit crazy fuckos who think that this is like some kind of man-made virus or conspiracy theory or something, it's like, you guys can also at least then agree that, well, okay, the virus is here. It's affected people. People have died. People get sick. It like melts your fucking lungs. I mean, we need to take it seriously. I don't understand why they politicize it and then they get to the point where they're like, no, we need to do it. We need it right now. People need to die because the economy is failing. Like, fucking hell, man. We're so lost. We're so lost. We have so many problems. Like, and I don't, I've got my opinions, obviously, but like, I don't know what necessarily that solution looks like either. Oh yeah, I banned that fucking guy, by the way. Sure, you all right? Okay. Yeah, no, like you said, like I said, you say enough stupid fucking things, I'm just gonna ban you. It's our stream. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't think killing the workforce will help the economy. Yeah, no. But look, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I don't think we should open up at all. Like, I think it's too soon. I'm saying that I don't know why you think that I'm saying that I think we should open up and like kill the workforce with the code. Like, I don't think we should open up at all. I think what I'm saying is like these fucking idiot Trump protesters that are like gathering at our state houses and stuff, and they're like protesting to open the state. They're fucking morons. I hope they all get coronavirus. Oh, it's just, yeah, Vaudeman, yeah. It is. Oh, good Lord. Because they claim to be pro-economy. Exactly. They claim that they're pro-economy. Look, they claim a lot of things. They claim that they're for small government. Now, the fucking idiot who was in here earlier, Blue Lives Matter, that fucko I banned, he was like saying, we're all for small government. And I was like, no, you're not, though, really. Except when it comes to the military and an overinflated military budget and our own authoritarian flexes that we make around the world. Like, and then, of course, when it comes to policing, I mean, his fucking name is Blue Lives Matter, you goddamn hypocrite. You guys are hypocrites. It's so funny. It's funny, but it's sad. Really. Yes, militarized police are the opposite of small government. And militarized police are just a regular reality all throughout the country now. We don't need militarized police. What we need is community policing. Everyone in every neighborhood should know a local beat cop. you need to be intimately familiar with your police to have a community policing mindset. And again, I don't know if you guys had heard when I said this earlier, but I strongly believe this. I don't think we should hire military veterans as cops. I really don't. I don't think we should do it. They were trained to do a different job. You got the suffering from the PTSD. They don't hire military veterans to work as cops in Canada for obvious reasons. They don't have a lot of the same fucking problems that we do. You're trained, while some of that training overlaps. You're trained ideally for a different type of environment, and you're trained to work with people in such a different way that you can't take that from a war zone and then put it into a civilian environment. It's not going to translate well, and it hasn't translated well, as we have seen, because Minneapolis was burnt to the fucking ground because the cops murdered a guy in cold blood. NPC dialogue. The U.S. military has a history of built-in racism. Oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely, they do. The U.S. military. The U.S. military has a history of built-in a lot of bigotry across the board. I mean, God, when I was growing up, it was all don't. I'm like in my mid-30s. It was the don't ask, don't tell shit. I never understood why. This is like the one bone that I'll throw the conservatives, because I said earlier that I don't consider myself an SJW, even though I'm very far militant leftist. Like, I don't understand why sexuality has to be such a part of someone's identity that it has to be celebrated so much. But I don't know why everybody fucking cares either. Like, and on the exact extreme opposite. Why does everyone give so much of a shit where you put your pecker or who you're fucking? It's so silly. We have so much to get over about sex in our society. It's just insane. Heavy Fisted says, would you hope the protesters in Minnesota get COVID since they gathered in protest as well? I mean, I don't hope they get it. I mean, it's a different protest. It's a different thing. They're not specifically protesting in regard to COVID and opening up the state. They're protesting because of a violent police response. I don't think that a lot of them gathering together is smart. I think some of them, or many of them, might probably get the virus, and that's dumb. And you should, but it's, I can't even make the argument because it was a riot. Like, it's a fucking riot. Nobody during a riot is thinking, we should probably engage in social distancing. Oh my god, I got a fucking bot in here. Hold on. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bot. 5 followers. Fuck you. Trying to get me to buy followers. I don't give a fuck about that. Oh, jeez. The U.S. military and built-in racism. Yes. Yep. I think it'd actually be really kind of neat to do like a little analysis on that one of these days. I'm not saying listen, okay, heavy-fisted. I'm not saying there aren't fucking morons in the middle of a riot, brother. You know what I mean? Of course there's fucking idiot, dipshit morons and bad people that are going to take advantage of a situation in a riot. The point that I'm making here is that the riot is a symptom of a problem, which is racial-based police brutality. And at that point, do I think that, the police force should, reap what they've sown of the absolutely? I mean, it's gonna happen. Like, people are gonna get fed up. You push somebody to a point again and again and again, and eventually the dam's gonna break. And that's what happened in Minneapolis. That's what happened in Minnesota. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Eyes of the Left. Another couple of podcasts my friends and I have liked was Chapo Trap House. We like those guys. My one friend criticized them because he said that they're too memey these days. But I like memey shit. I like cringy, awkward, dumb meme shit. So, whatever, own it, right? I watch the animes. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, man, like, I don't know. I just, this whole, it's all so fucked up. It's all so bad. Um, I don't know that the system, like I said, I'm interested to see what the state and the mayor's response is to what's going to be going on today and this evening. Now, if I'm able to get good live feeds and get ground cams, what I will do later this evening, probably I'll be searching for it like when I cut this off or whatever. But around 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 8 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna um, try to find the live feeds, and I'm gonna try to maybe stream them on the channel so we can actually look at the ground cams and talk about what's going on there. Uh, the press conference exacerbated the situation. It was honestly unnecessary since they announced nothing new. I agree. I didn't see how it exacerbated anything. So if you've got a link of like shit that popped off after that, I would love to see that. Feel free to post that in the chat. I would like to take a look at it. I don't know how it exacerbated anything, but the mayor, for all the good things that he said, like they should be arrested, they should get this guy, lock him up. All he said today was fucking platitudes, and like everything he said, I'm just like, yeah, okay, duh. Thanks, bud. Like, thanks for telling us shit we already know. Thank you for telling us a whole lot of nothing on the mic. It was just one of those just very fucking stupid political moments where they just come out and they try to like, we should all hold hands and be in this together. I don't know. I thought that was super fucking stupid, but yeah, I haven't. Excuse me. Shit. I haven't seen any like new updates of today. I do know that Facebook was cutting off people's feeds last night, so that's fucked up. Fuck Facebook. Fuck Zuckerberg. You fucking piece of shit. The fact that they're like cutting off people's ground cams so we can't see what's going on. Fuck you. Ugh. Fucking California. I swear to God. Yeah, no, I know. He called for charges against him, and that was good. That was it. His unequivocal, quick response to that was fucking brilliant. I'm just talking about what I watched was his press conference today. I didn't realize you were talking about the press conference yesterday. I was referring to what I saw him say today. It was like a bunch of fucking platitudes. Uh, Yeah, I didn't watch the, I wasn't watching the press conference because we were on here streaming. Um, Vulgarity, I'm Emoji, by the way. Welcome to the stream. If you're mildly entertained or enjoying our conversations, feel free to like and, you know, all subscribe and all that bullshit. But no, like we were streaming Telling Lies, that detective game yesterday. So like I knew none of what was going on, and then like I logged in, I logged into Facebook. I saw something on Bernie Sanders' dank meme stash, and I saw shit on fire, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I first thought it was like Chicago. I was very confused at first. I didn't know what was going on. And everyone's like, don't you watch the fucking news? I mean, no, not really. I watch like YouTube, alternative media news. And I get it from a lot of different sources. I really like Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk. Kyle's my boy. I like him a fucking lot. Basically, almost everything he says, like I 100% agree with. Um, but I try to take it in from everywhere. I really, really, honestly don't try to just be in an echo chamber. I don't. I tolerated
I tolerated Blue Lives Matter on here for like much longer than probably most people would. Common Inspector says it's kind of ironic that Hubert Humphrey came to prominence as the mayor of Minneapolis. I don't know much about that. So if you can elaborate on that, enlighten me on what you mean about Hubert Humphrey. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. What do you guys have you guys seen, or do you think that the marches and the mobs are going to continue, and then we're going to get a second round tonight of the same stuff? Do you guys think that it's going to escalate again, and they're going to push it again, or do you think that they've called in like so much National Guard now that they're basically blockading off the city? I haven't seen any updates today, which I find very, very weird. I mean, the fact that no one's able to like be streaming independently, or like what's going on? There's like some kind of weird media blackout. Look at me getting all conspiratorial. Fucking hell. Hey, what's up, Jin? What's going on, my dude? We're just talking about Minneapolis burning to the fucking ground. I've got my oink piggyback around. You missed it earlier. I was getting trolled pretty hard. We had like an influx of right-wing guys from Twitch coming in here. It was really funny. Listen, I like it when that happens. I think it's hilarious. When the left gets mad, they go like for people's jobs. When the right gets mad, they make like shitty funny memes. And it makes me laugh. I fucking chuckle. I don't give a shit. There's zero sensitivity here. Yeah, shit was insane. It was insane. Like those fires, man. Like the one guy was like going inside a Target. The flames were just like burning, licking up. Like it was nuts. All the Target was cleaned, like full on cleaned out. It was cleaned out, and then after they cleaned it out, it was just smoke. Just miles of smoke and ash. It was so crazy. It was like I said earlier, it was like something out of like the Harley Quinn cartoon where Gotham just goes to shit. It was pretty fucking crazy to watch that. My one buddy was like tempted to get in the car and drive up there and cover it, and I would have done it. Like I'm that much of a crazy fuck that like I would have been like, yeah, fuck it, let's hop in the car, let's go. But he didn't want to drive 15 hours. He spoke too soon. I don't know what happened to my goddamn ashtray, my cup ashtray. But yeah, no, the whole thing is fucking crazy. But no, I appreciate all you guys coming in talking about everything and the follows. I like having conversations. I like having conversations with people who think differently. Just try to be like, cool on the being a fucking cunt, just a tad. Don't like. And if you're gonna attack a streamer, like attack me. Like I'm the biggest cunt here, so I can take it. I'm one of those dirty centrists. That's fine. Both sides have good points, but being drowned out by the crazy shit. Yeah, look, and I can understand you feeling this way and your take on it, and where you fall or whatever. And I always the liberal leftism that I grew up with in the 1990s was much hippier than it is today. It was like, let's all sit down and have a conversation, and try to understand people. And that was what made up the left. That was the essence and the definition of being liberal and open-minded. Was to do that and to see things to benefit everyone and to benefit us as people, as citizens. And then today, it's taken a much more hateful turn in many, many ways. I mean, you've got like these, radical, hateful online people calling themselves feminists who aren't. I mean, you've got like, look, there's like, of course, there are bad people with bad opinions or authoritarian opinions and this, that, and the third, but you don't, it's too complicated just to quantify all of that. I mean, like, people, I understand, like, if you're not super politically jacked in, with all these, like, hot takes and terminologies and labels that people have nowadays, it's hard to, like, parse that out and then, like, determine where people actually lie in their belief. And that's very weird and nuanced. Like, if we go strictly by labels, right? I would say that I am a libertarian, leftist, pseudo-anarchist, secular humanist, kind of agnostic atheist, I guess? Like, I don't know. Like, if we're just going based off of labels. Did you see the wheelchair lady at Target in Minnesota? Thank you for the follow, Daniel Martins 888. I appreciate you. Don't be shy, say hi. If you've got something to say in the chat, drop it below. My only caveat is that you be a tiny bit of a cunt, Don't be a massive cunt. Well, it's just me on stream, so I guess you can be a massive cunt if you want to. Also, I don't censor the chat, so this is an uncensored. I don't believe in censorship. I'm a free speech absolutist. The only time I'll ban someone is if they keep repeating themselves and like they're not making valid points about literally anything, or they're just they're just blatantly trolling to troll, because this is not productive. We're not getting anywhere at that point. And sometimes I even like the trolls and like to troll, but we gotta have some semblance of decorum. God damn it, we gotta have some semblance of decorum here. I did not see the wheelchair lady. What's the wheelchair lady? What is that? Is there a video? Do you have a link to a video? What happened with the wheelchair lady? I am fully unaware of what happened with the wheelchair lady. I don't know, so enlighten me. Enlighten all of us. I've got my Adeptus Mechanicus mug. Hooray for the Adeptus Mechanicus. I'm a big 40K guy. Oh, we got Spectre responded. Let's take a look at what Spectre said here. Hubert Humphrey was the leader of the Progressive Liberal Democrats from around 1952. Came to prominence among the Liberals after his 1948 DNC Minority Report speech on civil rights, where he basically forced the entire convention to adopt civil rights as a major plank of Truman's platform, despite no one wanting that going into it. The speech was likened to William Jennings Bryan's Cross of Gold speech in terms of prominence by Robert Conroe. Okay, that's cool. Fucking hell. The stupid tape keeps falling down back there. I actually find that kind of funny, though. It gives it a nice, gritty aesthetic. I'll just leave it go like that. Yeah, that is interesting. That's super interesting. Thank you for educating me on that. I appreciate it. But Jin, if you're still in the chat, I don't know what the wheelchair lady is. So if you can tell me, if anybody knows what the wheelchair lady is, what I don't know what happened with that. What's one of the God, man, like people are gonna get mad about this probably, but like we were making jokes all throughout the stream. At one point there was this guy who came up to the barricades. He was like, "This ain't the way. This ain't the way. You guys gotta stop. This ain't the way." And he was like, "Yo, man, fuck you, man," and like calling him the N-word and stuff. He's like, "Where are you from, man? Where are you from?" He's like, "I'm from the dirtiest South. And he said that like 3 times. So I hop in there. I'm like, "Dirtiest South has entered the chat." We're just fucking memeing, making dumbass comments during the live stream. Oh, jeez. That's privilege at its finest, right? When you can sit there and make jokes about a fucking riot over some a murder, a fucking murder. Yikes. But like, we're such pieces of shit, we just can't help ourselves from that like comedic license. We're just gonna go do it anyway. Oh man. I don't know, guys. Let's see. We've been on for a while. I think we're gonna go ahead and give it a break here. Again, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I appreciate the follows. We'll try to be streaming again. If we're not streaming again, talking about the politics or streaming live ground cam riot footage, I might hop on later, do some Magic Arena, or we'll do some play some Telling Lies. So we may have that coming up in the near future. But I thank everyone for joining us for this little talk and engaging on the topic here, the Minneapolis riots. This has been Emoji and Emojis and Vulgarity. Salute, slancha, and I hope you cunts have a great rest of your night, whatever it is you're doing.